All right, welcome to my Cratejoy conversion optimization breakdown. You can find more information at davishdesign.com. Just look in the description below this video. So let's go right to it. What is Cratejoy? Cratejoy is a subscription marketplace it's a marketplace for subscription boxes. So subscription boxes are things like this that you pay monthly for, and they send you a bunch of things every month on a certain topic. A bunch of books here, a bunch of candy. Not sure what this is. I'm assuming a bunch of dog goods, etc. Right? So this is kind of a trendy thing at the moment. So Cratejoy is this marketplace for it. You can either create your own subscription box and start a little business, or you can buy subscription boxes. So the first thing is you got to be clear on what the goals are. So when I look at, and for more detail here, again, look at the post that's related to this video. When I look at this homepage, there's one key thing that initially jumps out to me, which is the homepage has a mix of things that appeal to the buyer and things that appeal to sellers. So what do I mean by that? At the top, users scan in an an F-shaped pattern from left and top down and to the right. So they sort of the heat of their eyes goes over here first. So great. Shop for a subscription box that fits your lifestyle. That's great. That's what appeals to buyers, and most marketplaces have homepages that appeal to buyers, right? So if we look at Airbnb, for example, you'll see that things appeal to the people that are finding a place. Welcome home, rent unique places, and then I can start my rental place. And then other things appeal to sellers, become a host, hosting opportunities. But this main key hero unit area appeals to buyers first. But Cratejoy, there's sort of a mix. Shop appears to buyers, and then right here, the most prime real estate is used for want to start your own subscription business, find out all you need. So if I'm a brand new person to Cratejoy because I'm part of their referral traffic because they were mentioned on some blog post or what have you, I come here thinking, oh, that's interesting, a marketplace for subscription boxes. Most people, almost always, when a marketplace business matures, that is, are buyers just by volume in a B2C marketplace. There's a lot more C's than there are B's, right? Then most of them, they're going to be sort of confused by this main hero unit. And if you want them to buy, you're also sort of, in a way, reducing a possible conversion opportunity. So that's the number one thing. So it's not clear. So let's say I just move past that. There's a few things. So I want to find a subscription box. How do I do that? Well, I could search for it, but generally my eyes are going to be taken to sort of bright things. So I look down here. There's trending subscriptions. That's kind of interesting. I think that's an interesting choice. I'd be curious why Cratejoy is deciding to go with trending subscriptions and what their algorithm is for trending. The reason I say it's interesting is because it's not clear to me, at least. I mean, do I want this? I mean, treats, okay, cruelty-free for you and me. I'm assuming it's cruelty-free dog. It's kind of an interesting mix. Wet Shave Club just for men, that appeals to me. If my wife stumbled upon it, it wouldn't really appeal to her. I have no idea what Sapphire Soul is, but apparently it's just for women. Nerdy and novelty, books. So it's kind of an eclectic mix, but apparently they're trending. So, when you want buyers to start buying, the first thing you want them to do is click around and start looking at product. So generally, most e-commerce places will feature a couple products that they want to feature up top. In one way, they apparently feature something in the hero unit, the Fuego box, but this is a pretty poor feature in my opinion. I have no idea what this box is. This is a clickable link, and all I think it serves to do is distract from this call to action. This call to action obviously appears to sellers, which is a little bit odd, but nonetheless, if that's what they want, and maybe Cratejoy made an intentional decision here to appeal to sellers because they want to increase sellers right now because the business is maybe starting the B2C marketplace. That's fine, but this is not particularly appealing. We have no idea what the Fuego box is, and even if you get some clicks because it's here, those are not targeted clicks because the intent is probably just curiosity. So let's scroll down. How else can we find a subscription box? So I can look for top-rated subscriptions. That's kind of interesting. Generally, users ignore the sidebar though, so you'll not get a lot of clicks there. Which means often what's most convenient there is very pragmatic sort of utilitarian things in the sidebars. So most e-commerce stores will have sidebars on the left-hand side, unlike this. This is kind of like a blog layout. To just have, imagine going to Nordstrom's or Macy's.com and seeing very utilitarian things like, jeans, men's, sizes, etc. We keep going down. This is interesting. So there's some new reviews. I'd be curious to see whether this is something that actually affects conversions at all. For a big sort of B2B business, these sort of user reviews are really interesting. But for B2C and almost kind of an e-commerce type site here, you really just want to go to a particular product and then see reviews there. New subscriptions, again, interesting choice. And here's why. I think what's most interesting is categories. So if I want a subscription box, I would be really interested in seeing, here are the types of subscription boxes you can get. So think about other businesses that do something similar. They sell a marketplace of things that can be divided into categories. Think apparel. If you go to apparel, right? So let's go to Nordstrom's.com. If we go to apparel, what we're going to see is a few featured items, and then immediately the first thing I see is categories across the top. And this kind of layout is true like basically any retailer, major retail. These are things they want to feature, but otherwise that main hero unit area is used for categories. So that way it appeals to anyone. Like I'm coming for clothes, I go to men and I look for what I want, right? And you would think about this for, say, like Fiverr and things like that. If you want to find some sort of subscription, I want to find, okay, I want a graphic designer. And then I'm going to start looking through different graphic designers. So this is very appealing to me, but it's all the way at the bottom. If you do any heat mapping software ever, you know that the heat is always towards the top. A lot of people just don't scroll to the bottom. So I'd be really curious to see if they've done a test where they just flipped it and they had categories first. If you have categories first, I probably wouldn't keep it this simple. You want to see photos of your product and something like this, B2C kind of like nitty gritty, I can hold in my hand type of product. And so it'd be interesting to see categories expanded in a beautiful way, animals and pets that feature some of the most beautiful boxes, and then moving on to the other categories. If you flip that, would that be more interesting? I would imagine it'd be more interesting than new subscriptions, which is even higher up than it, okay? So this is sort of the homepage breakdown. Let's go into one of the things. Treats sounds good, even though I just ate. So this is a very classic product page. It's done just fine, I think. Photos are here. I want to see all the different treats that I get. That's great. And in this particular, I'm not sure right now whether the seller does this or Cratejoy decides what the photos are. But I can flip through photos. The photos are crisp. That's good. And then I see reviews. I don't see the number of reviews, which is very interesting. That could be because a lot of these products don't have a bunch of reviews. Item details are pretty good. Again, I don't know whether Cratejoy has any control over that or that's just sellers. Now, how do I subscribe? This is also done pretty well. So subscribe now is a big clear button. One thing that could be interesting is hardly anyone is sharing this on social media here. The first thing you want them to do is buy, because buyers are the source of your, the revenue that runs the business. It's distracting to put other calls to action near your main call to action, and people aren't even sharing this anyways, right? And so I'd be curious to put this maybe down at the bottom and see probably the most sort of excited people that scroll all the way to the bottom are the ones that are going to share anyways. So this is a little bit distracting. The second thing is it's nice to keep sort of a graphic design aesthetic, a UX aesthetic where this matches Cratejoy's main color, this sort of teal color. But generally, if you want a call to action to stand out, you want to make it something that contrasts with that. It's a little bit difficult on Cratejoy because the product photos are so bright and have so many different colors to get anything that contrasts, but something to keep in mind. And then there's something really interesting that happens if we continue, and this is going to be the last part of the breakdown. So now, let's say the buyer actually wants to buy, so they click subscribe now. It's opening up a new tab, and this screencast, you guys can't see the URL, which I should have shown you, but it now goes to www.trytreats.com. So that's really interesting. So this is something that is not clear to me. Whoa. And Try Treats has its own exit intent pop-up. I love exit intent pop-ups. We have a service for exit intent pop-ups that are extremely optimized, but now I'm sort of in a new place. It's a little bit disconcerting. So this is kind of interesting, and in my normal browsing of it, I didn't really see anything that indicated that I'd be taken to a different site. So there's a huge trust factor here that's kind of interesting. Now, I imagine Cratejoy can't really change this. It's not something you A/B test. Maybe it is, but it seems like it's part fundamentally of their business model. So in other words, they are probably just the initial marketplace, and unlike Amazon, where you could sell something on Amazon, and if I go to buy it, I'm still buying in the Amazon website. I see Amazon's trust logos and security logos. I feel safe that I'm purchasing from Amazon, even though you're the seller. They indicate that you're the seller. They're not hiding anything from me, but everything is within Amazon. Cratejoy has made an interesting decision, which I don't know the details about. Again, I'm not affiliated with them at all, where they don't do that. So now I'm taken to a new place. I think it's a little bit disconcerting. And it requires so many more clicks. So you took a buyer all the way from the beginning, right? From a homepage that made it through all of these different decisions, decided to click on treats, looked through treats, probably flipped through photos, maybe read this, maybe checked out the different reviews, and then they got to a point where they want to click this. In a normal internet retail transaction, that is an absolutely crucial step where they've added something to cart and all that's remaining is checkout, which any e-commerce person will tell you that's a big deal. That's still a big hurdle remaining. But nonetheless, that's a key step. And instead of me just getting to okay, you have treats in your cart. Do you want to check it out? Do you want to buy it? Here, put your credit card in. Now I'm in a new place and I have to keep clicking. I don't even know where to click. Start snacking. See, that's odd because I really don't want to start snacking. I just want that particular thing that I thought I was going to buy for $12.95. Now it says $13. Is that really the case? Okay, starting at $12.95 and then 20% off. Do I get 20% off $12.95? This is really, and then pick reel shows up again. Thank you. So now it's $13.95. So there's some serious issues in terms of how that checkout process goes. But nonetheless, this is the breakdown of Cratejoy. There's a whole bunch more detail in the actual post about the conversion optimization process, how I would do user research, what I would ask users, how I would videotape users and video record them and get live users to do it, how I would look at browser testing and those kind of browser issues. So check out the post. The link is right below this. And if you want to see more like this, click on the link and join the email list where you'll see all sorts of conversion breakdowns.